Yeah, so the National Council of Churches owns the NRSV Update Edition and the RSV. So they actually are not a publisher per se of that Bible. It's very expensive to publish Bibles, print editions. So they license the rights to publish it to publishers all around the world. There's maybe 30 or 40 publishers around the world that publish editions, print editions. And these Catholic, Protestant, US-based, European-based publishers. It was important that no publisher had kind of a shot at publishing it first, right? Because it would give them an unfair advantage. So there was kind of an embargo, and so there can't be any print editions until the summer, around May, June. That's when publishers can start publishing. But the NCC has put out an electronic edition. I believe it's available on Amazon, and so you can see that, but it's not a print edition. That's what's being left to publishers. But this is so that the public sees what this text is. And we hope as soon as possible that SBL has a site called Bible Odyssey. It's kind of a phenomenal site for the public. We have 11,000 users of it today, a day, over 4 million a year. And what's kind of remarkable is that we've done a study of the user base in the summer and found that of those 11,000 users, a high percentage of those are first-time users. They're coming from just a random Google search or Chrome search. And they're coming to the site, which means that every day new people are being exposed to this really important resource for how to read the Bible in the modern world. The base text, the default text, is the Nrsv. And as soon as we have all the technology in place, we're going to swap out the Nrsv with the update edition, hopefully prior to the time when publishers can publish it, just so that, again, the public sees the value of this new updated edition. We want to swap it out. I did want to say, so that role that we played, really, we didn't want to see this family history of the King James Version end. And same as when we have the Nrsv, we want to then replace it with the Nrsv UE because we think many ways that's what attracted so many of our members to this project, was participating in an historic translation. I would say, I wanted to mention too, one other important part of the Nrsv UE, also the Nrsv. So if you read the preface that we wrote for the Nrsv UE, you'll see that the trajectory from the RSV to the Nrsv to the Nrsv UE was a constant attempt to become more inclusive, more diverse, and to be more interfaith and ecumenical. So SBL is agnostic. Our members may or may not be people of faith, they're biblical scholars. And so that being agnostic also means that you support interfaith traditions and you're ecumenical. So at this point, the Nrsv UE was intended to be the most ecumenical and interfaith translation, including kind of contributors, who they were, where they were coming from, the fact that the versification now conforms to the Orthodox tradition, so now it becomes suitable within that liturgy. And we also really applaud the NCC's decision to allow variations. So when someone licenses the Nrsv from the NCC, there's some guidelines on what they can do with that text. And one of the guidelines now allows them to label the testaments so that it could be called Hebrew Bible instead of Old Testament, for example. Or you could say Tanakh, for the Jewish tradition. And we're really happy the NCC took that step to make this both ecumenical and interfaith.